continue the transactional route, you're like a hamster on a wheel. It's no longer watermelon syndrome where the GBS is green and the business is red. Competitive advantage, and that differentiator is GBS. I don't apologize for having unrealistic targets. I'm Sumit Mitra, CEO of Tesco Business Solutions. Tesco was absolute pioneer in setting up shared services concept. In 2003, Tesco acquired 15-acre campus here in Whitefield in Bangalore. I was the fourth CEO of Tesco Bangalore. I started off with the concept of building a GBS, a global business services concept across multi-geographies. I came in 2017, and the whole purpose of this was to take the GBS concept into the next level. And how do we become world's best? So when I joined, Tesco Bangalore was already there for 13 years. So there was already a DNA that was there and existing. What was important was people did not realize the potential of what we could do together. So all I had to do was hold a mirror and talk about the talent, the capability that already existed in the business. And when you wrap that around by having a seat on the table, building a service management framework, a transformation engine, and also a data science and analytics team, it really unlocked the potential of becoming world's best GBS. We won the most admired shared services through SSON almost 7 years in a row. And last 3 years, we've been absolutely up there as world's best GBS. So I feel incredibly proud of what we've built over the last 7.5, 8 years. And it's a testament to the depth of knowledge that exists within our GBS, whether it's in Budapest, whether it's in Waterford, whether it's in Dundee, or here in Bangalore. So when I joined in 2017, it was really important to have a clear strategy of what we're doing. First of all, really wanted to understand how we stood as a service into the business. So I took a lot of feedback from different stakeholders to really understand the as-is position. It was then really important to build that vision, that strategy. Whilst I had a clear understanding of the 5-year strategy that we're going to execute, but it was important to break it down into a bite-sized chunk. I always say we must go at a pace that organization can consume. So therefore, it was important to put together a 2-year strategy. The first 2 years was all about having the right infrastructure, having the transformation engine, having the quality framework, having the service management framework to build the ingredients to build that world-class GBS. Then our next 3-year strategy was all about really executing at pace, because by that time, the organization was really ready for us. We have built a lot of credibility. And then it was all about taking that business forward. Our next 3-year strategy was really leapfrogging and really bringing in the capability of AI, data science, and analytics to really unlock untapped value and deliver sort of triple-digit millions of opportunity in terms of incremental revenue, incremental margin, and incremental cash. But underlying all this was the culture. It was really important to build the right culture, right people framework, and right employee value proposition to ensure that you retain the talent that you have within the business. If we continue the transactional route, you're like a hamster on a wheel. There are more pressure on driving efficiency. There is more pressure on being more efficient. But as I said before, it's finite. So therefore, it's impossible to ask your people to type faster or drive more and more transformation. So what was important is understand the end-to-end value. How do you drive P&L upside for the markets, whether it's Europe, whether it's UK, whether it's ROI, whether it's India. How do you deliver that incremental revenue margin and cash? And that's important to the business. To me, that's infinite. So therefore, how do you leverage the processes, the technology, the problem-solving ability, the possibility mindset, and bring all that together and leapfrog your transformation to create that value? So anybody who is starting new, you don't have to go through a 7-year journey. What you can do is set up your processes, build a continuous improvement culture that will continue to drive efficiency, and having that know-how to drive that efficiency. But it's about unlocking the value, unlocking that incremental margin and revenue that adds shareholder value and creates that competitive advantage for the business. Trust is never built overnight. It comes through real hard work and real hard work to build that relationship. And relationship comes from partnership. The partnership doesn't happen overnight either. And it doesn't happen because you're subservient. It happens from equal footing. And you earn the right through partnership, through continuous execution, relentless focus on controls, risks, governance framework, and making sure that it adds value to both parties. To me, that's true partnership. And that really builds the foundation of a long-lasting GBS. Perception is very important for GBS. So if you think about almost 7-8 years ago, it was, I call it random violence. We had bits and pieces of processes that moved into our shared services / GBS model. The big change that we delivered was around looking and thinking end-to-end, thinking experience, and thinking about work that's done in GBS, taking ownership and accountability of that work end-to-end. It's no longer watermelon syndrome where the GBS is green and the business is red. It's about understanding the end-to-end KPIs and SLAs. And partnership always happens at equal footing. It's about win-win. How do we work with our stakeholders and colleagues in the markets to unlock untapped value opportunity for the group and therefore create that differentiator and ultimately a sustainable competitive advantage for the group.